Hi everyone, this is Randy at Beagle Bay Knots, and I wanted to take a minute and go over our new monkey fist jig and kit that makes two of these keychains that we sell here in the store. So what comes with it is the dowels, the jig itself that we made, a couple keychains, enough cord to do two of these, the core that we use to put in the center of the monkey fist, and also to show you how it works. So give me a second here and we'll get busy and show you how to work this thing. So on the jig itself, there's actually 3 settings for each post, and what that does is it allows you to use different size cores to make different size monkey fists for whatever your project is. So on the smallest setting, you can do as little as this, as big as that. On the next setting, which is the number 2 setting, we call these just sit around knots because they're kind of decorative. You could use, the middle setting to make those. This is actually 3/8 inch cotton cord that we sell here in the shop. And then also the larger one, like this is a 1/2 inch cord. That would be the 4th set or the 3rd setting there. And these are nice. You can set them on it, put them on a doorknob or whatever. It keeps the door from hitting the wall. And it's just a nice piece. It looks nice on your door. So those are the sizes you can make with the jig itself. What I do to use cores for these is actually bought a silicone mold off of Amazon, and I use the spray foam insulation. Fill the mold up with that, let it dry, and it comes out with a nice sized ball. You can also buy balls at Joann Fabrics, places like that have the styrofoam balls in different sizes. Just a side note on the cord itself, it's number 96 cord for the size that's in the jig. It is genuine hard laid Marty Coombs cotton cord. Anybody that ties knots knows who Marty Coombs is. And once you have the jig, you can actually, we sell the cord in hanks or in rolls up to 2 pounds. You can actually buy the cord and continue on your process of tying your monkey fists. So let's get started. The first thing we do is we take your jig, and I have it set on the smallest setting here, and we start at the bottom. And what you're going to do is you're actually going to hold with your thumb the first course of this cord, and we're going to go 4 times around. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and you make sure you have 4 on each side. Okay, so you're going to end up on the corner that you started with. All right, so once you got that, we'll kind of scrunch them together a little bit like that, and you're going to go 90 degrees on that post. And what the objective this time is to put a winding 4 times around this outside piece that we just did. So let me get that scrunched up again. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go, and this will take a minute. It's a little cumbersome, but it's still not as bad as trying to tie this on your fingers. I don't know if anybody has tried to do that. It's very frustrating. And this does help a lot. So there's 2, 3 on the bottom. Okay, 4 on the top. And then we got to do an extra one on the bottom to make 4, and there we go. So we get to the top, okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're going to do a 90 degrees straight down, and we're going to actually wind the inside of this, okay? So down through here, okay? And you're going to go this way. So down through here, out through the bottom. This is kind of one of the most cumbersome parts, but it's okay. We'll get through it. Sometimes I even do this. I'll take it and I'll go out this side just to get it down through there like that, and then bring it over and up through just like that. Okay, so when you get that first winding on it, you can kind of let go of your little tail down there and just keep winding, so you've got 4. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 to hold everything together. Just like that. And then we're going to pull the dowel out and we're going to slide this thing up here. So there's the start of your monkey fist, all right? So now, since it's kind of already, you know, overlapped and you're holding stuff together, we're going to start tightening it. All right, put the core in there, just like that. So start at the beginning, and you usually want to go around 3 or 4 times to tighten the whole thing up. So we start small, just enough to kind of take some of the slack out. My core kind of jumped the ship there, so let's put that back in there. Okay. And then we're going to just keep doing. And the objective of this is to keep everything lined up as best you can. Okay. And I don't know if you just saw that, but I kind of push to keep things in track, know where I am. And which one I'm pulling on is the one I want to pull on. Okay, so there's the 4th one. So there's that 90-degree turn that we made when we were on the jig. So we're going to follow that one around. Same thing. Keep track of what you're doing. And just keep everything lined up in order. And just move slow. I mean, we're not racing here. And when I show people, I actually do classes on how to do these. Everybody thinks that, you know, gotta hurry, rush through it. You don't. Just take your time. It'll look much better that way. Okay, so now that's the 4th one on that series. And then again, your 90-degree turn. And that starts the next series of 4. And we ran out of cord, so only did 3, so we're going to have to do the 4th one on this too. Uh-oh, I pulled one out. No big deal. We can fix that. Like that. Okay, and see how there's only 3 on this one? So what we're going to do is, actually I'm going to take my fid here. Now, if you don't have a fid, you can use a pencil. You can use a ballpoint pen. If you got one that separates, you can cut a slant in it, make your own little Swedish fid out of it. All those things just to make it a little easier to feed your line through. Like, see how nice that goes through there like that? So that's just a little piece of the knot tying thing. So we need one more course on that one. So there we go. So now we have 4 on all the sides. So as you can see, it's not real tight. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to start again, and I'll be back when I get it a little tighter, and we'll go through the last course together. All right, so I'm down to the last course here. I've tightened, went through it a couple times. And as you can see, it really comes down and tightens nicely. So now I'm on this last row that we did, and I just want to show you where we're at here. And again, I just keep going through it, tightening it up, using my fid or my Swedish fid to pick it. There's different things you can use. You can use an awl, things like that to help you out. It gets kind of hard on your fingernails after you do a bunch. And we just keep working around it, just like that. And sometimes you got to push it into the little channel that you make, and work it. I mean, a lot of people think it's going to fall into place, but it doesn't. I mean, not tying, you got to kind of, especially fancy work, you got to kind of make things do what you want them to do. And it all works out, as you can see. So That's the last course, and there we are. So see how nice that looks? And then what I do is I just kind of push things together to make sure that it's seated well, and it's up against that core. If it's not tight enough, sometimes it looks like these things will scrunch up together. Or if the core is not large enough, they'll look like they'll scrunch up together. That's kind of the trick to it, to make it look nice. So there we go. So what we need to do now is make the little loop that we use to hold the keychain. And first thing I'm going to do is cut this little tail off right there. That's the beginning. And it's nice to have that stick out until now, because that way you know where the beginning is when you're trying to tighten it. Another issue. So let's cut that off. There we go. Got it. All right. And what I do is I like to put them catty corner. So I'm going to go where I just cut that off. I'm going to go down through there for my loop. Oh, and don't forget to put your keychain on, or your ring. So put your split ring on there. Okay. Also comes with your kit. Figure out, okay, right there's where I cut that off. So we're going to go straight down that way. So let's stick the fid or your pen in there. Make your little channel. There we go. And feed it through. It's that easy. Okay. Oops, get my hand out of the way. All right, and then pull your fid out. You can make this as long or as short as you want. It's entirely up to you. We're going to go about right there. And what I'm doing here is I'm just twisting it so the loop itself lays right. See how this one's kind of turned? Okay. Which is fine, but it's just, you know, personal preference. So there's your loop. Alrighty, so now we got our loop in there. We've got our chain or our split ring on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a whip in the middle. And like you can see on this one, I go about 4 or 5 wraps on there. So let's go ahead and do a whip. So what we do is we put a bite in your little pieces of cord for whipping, and we put a pinch in it. And I like to go loop in the same direction. All right. So the idea of a whip is we're going to wind over top of it towards the loop. All right. So we'll start there. And the first one, what we do is we cross over, and that's going to lock it in. All right. So once we do that, we come around to the front, and you can kind of tighten it up at that point. And then we're just going to keep winding, and you can move around now since you've got it locked in, and just keep winding like this. There's 4, 4, and there's 5. All right, I think that's enough. So once you get to that point, you take your piece of whipping, you put it through the loop at the top, and you pull down on the other end that you just wound over top of. And what the idea is to pull that loop into the center of it, so it kind of locks everything together. There, we got it. All right, see how that works? And then you're going to take your scissors, and we're going to cut those off as close as you can. I've got a pair of side cuts I use as well. Works really well. You can get a little closer than you can with these big shears. Clip. Go to the other side. And clip. Okay. So as you can see, that leaves a little bit of excess there. And we've also got this to deal with. So we're going to cut all that together and we're going to hide it. Okay. And what I use is a little bit of fabric fusion. You can buy this stuff at a hobby store, Joann Fabrics. I've even seen it at like at Walmart, places like that. So let's go ahead and take the cap off of that. And what I do is I pull it down a little further than I want it to be. I go ahead and I cut it off, leave a little bit sticking out. I take my fabric fusion or glue or whatever. I've used it all, Elmer's. Get just a little dab. You don't need lots. like that. And then we pull it up into the knot itself, so you know where, so you can't see it. And then give it a little push. All right, so let's address these two things. So same thing. I'm going to take a little bit of dab on each one of those. And it doesn't take much. And then take your fit or your pen or whatever you've got available and just push that little nubbin right up in there to hide it. And the glue keeps it from unraveling for you. See there? All right. So there you go. So leave that sit for a day or two, and it will harden up, and you got yourself a little Christmassy keychain that you made with your Beagle Bay Knotworks jig and kit. You guys have a happy holiday. Our website is beaglebayknotworks.com, and have a great day. Thanks, guys.